As you know, my name is Lynn Cupido. I came from a very small town, not very small, but I came from a small town called Kimberley, Northern Cape. I am based in Cape Town now for about 8 years, and I moved aside to pursue my music career. I've been doing music since 2016. I've worked with local artists from back home, but later on, I think I was busy there for a year, and then I decided that I needed more. I needed to expand my horizons, and I feel like I could take my talent further because of not really having a lot of opportunities that side. And yeah, so I decided to come this side and do music and see what I can achieve. I moved to Cape Town at the age of 20 years old, and I kind of had a connection at SAE Studios. I had a close family friend who knew people from there, and they were looking for artists to collab with. And I took that as an opportunity to move and see how far it can take me. I've worked with artists such as BDJ, as Portia Luma, as Jimmy from Nigeria. So there is a lot of people that I've worked with. I work with Canvas Sports. He's from Zimbabwe. So it really was a great experience that I experienced for about 2 years. And then I actually took a break from music because I kind of felt like I didn't know what my sound was, and that I was actually just going and moving with the flow of what people expect me to be. I took a break to find myself and understand who I am as an artist, and that's where Seven came from. Musical era I'm really drawn to has to be the 20 to 21st century because I think it complements a lot of my sound, which is Afrofusion. So I infuse Afro pop music with jazz, R&B, with neo soul. Kind of fusing them together gives me a better understanding of how my writing processes works, because I do write from different perspectives, and also the storytelling comes from different stories, and I love the fact that I can use different genres as well to complement my writing skills and the stories I'm trying to tell. Even though house music is my favorite genre, my first love, Afropop has to be the top one. Even though I haven't really tapped into that, I'm saving that for later. But for now, I'm really drawn to the neo soul vibes and the jazz vibes and R&B, because I think I'm still going through the process of practicing and improving my vocal skills. And I think that's really a very, very good sound to start with and to kind of get the hang of what I would love to sound like. I would most definitely choose books, but I do not have a lot of time in the world. Being a very busy woman, documentaries is my shortcuts, but books, my first love, Paul McCartney, because I honestly do not know who Bob Dylan is. I've seen him before, but I really can't say that I know who that person is, so it would just be a very smart thing to just stick to Paul because that's the only person that I know between the two of them. Tanzania, because I I've done tourism at school for 3 years, and I love tourism, and I would really love to visit the Serengeti National Park eventually one day when I'm grown up. But that's something that I really want to experience, so I have to go with Tanzania. And sound musician for now, because I'm still finding my sound, I'm still finding my groove, I'm still drawing a lot of people to my music, building a fan base, And I think I need to focus on that first. I do not want to be all over the place. I don't like to be all over the place. So sound musician is definitely what I'm drawn to right now. But hopefully I will end up with the visual musician as well. The story behind Seven. Oh my god, I can literally write a book about this, but I don't have that much time. So I think I came from a place where I went through a lot of breakups, and I mean that in a sense of romantically, with friends, family, just change, change in general, let it go of things that affected my mental health and me physically and emotionally. So I decided that I would love to tap into the past 10 years of my life and how I had to learn after walking away and accepting that this is not healthy for me, that this is something that I do not want anymore. There's something that I do not want to allow in my life anymore. And that I needed to respect myself enough to walk away from things that I think I needed because of comfortability. People get comfortable and then we don't want to move away from that because we're scared of the unknown. I won't lie. Coming from abandonment issues and working my way through that, one would be scared to walk away. So I decided that, you know what, let me put this in my music because I decided to walk away, set boundaries, and just do things for myself. I've always had to be someone, a specific person to someone else and live by that specific role and not really be myself. And after deciding that I don't want that anymore, I put that in my music. And Seven, what you can get from Seven is that it's okay to not always know who you are, but it's very important to find out before it's too late and to not let people dictate who you are and what you should be. I talk about healing processes of that it's messy. It's messy to walk away, it's messy to heal, but it's also good to take accountability and responsibility for what you have caused in the next person's life as well. Because in a way, for you to heal, you need to forgive the next person and yourself, because at the end of the day, it's not just the next person who caused troubles or heartache or pain in any kind of relationship. Like they say, it takes two to tango, right? So yeah, I'm talking about growth and second chances and actually just doing and going through that work for yourself first before you do that for anyone else. That is very important, to find your voice and accept that you might lose people along the way, but in the end of the day, that gives you space to grow and to kind of attract what is for you and what you deserve, and go places where you need to be. Because if you carry all that dead weight, like I've been carrying that dead weight for the past 10 years, it gets a lot, and it gets difficult to accept that this isn't really what you need, this isn't really what you want. So to acknowledge the fact that even though it's messy, it will end up being such a beautiful thing when you step out of this dark zone and actually find your voice, find yourself. So that's the message that I want to send through my music, in general. Because I feel the role of music in this industry and society is to spread awareness, to make people aware of situations that people don't always want to talk about. And the way I speak to people is in a very poetic way, because I spend a lot of my time and effort mostly on my lyrics, because sometimes I just write. I always write. It's like my brain doesn't shut down at all. But yeah, so you have to say it in a way that you're speaking to yourself, but also someone else can actually relate from it. And it doesn't have to be relationships in general. I always just emphasize on that it's not always romantically. I'm speaking from different perspectives here, different relationships, because it's not just love that hurts, it's family, it's friendship, that all revolves around love. For me, it's just to spread awareness, to make people aware that it's okay to let go and lose people along the way. But the most important thing is to find yourself on the other side and to know exactly what you want, exactly what you need, and to be exactly what you want to be. And the rest will just follow. I would love to spread awareness of being a queer artist of color, and being a female, and being a Khoisan. So you don't really see a lot of us out here coming from a small town, being a Khoisan person and a queer woman of color as well. So socially, through my music, I want to spread awareness to let people experience me as this person and allow the rest that follows, or open a door for other people that doesn't feel strong enough to show who they really are. There really isn't a lot of opportunities from back home, and to be that kind of inspiration to see people actually taking steps and doing the work and asking for advice, for guidance from me, it's really cool to experience, because that means that I've touched people to actually reach or go for their goals, you understand? So I just really want to let people know that everybody comes from different backgrounds, different cultures, but that doesn't mean that we need to be limited because we feel like we are seen as less than. Coming from a Khoisan community and from a queer community, I think there isn't a lot of queer artists in South Africa that's doing what needs to be done. And that comes from being queer in the music videos, talking about queerness, you understand, embracing your sexuality through visual arts, through lyrics. I think this new generation is slowly getting to it. And I just love to be part of that process. I just love to be part of that movement, to try and just put or shed light on this topic that people don't really talk about, that we don't really see. I mean, how many queer music videos have you seen in South Africa? Like, can we count that on like 10 fingers? I don't think so. But hopefully, I feel like if I can be one of the top five, then I think that's beautiful. What to expect from me this year? Um, Well, my first project, I didn't do any features because I felt like in the past I literally did a lot of features and I don't even see the work that I've done. Hence why me taking that break to find out what do I want for myself. And I decided on no features on my first project because I wanted people to hear me, to feel me, to understand me, Lynn Cupido as an artist. So this year you can definitely expect me to tap into my favorite genre, house music. I've been working on some very cool sounds. I've been tapping into different genres. I've been tapping into different vocal abilities, and yeah, my muses definitely has to be Seal from South Africa, Tiara Thomas from the USA, the songwriter. It has to be Lyra. I grew up listening to a lot of her music, and my mom was a huge fan of her. And yeah, she's the reason why I got into music. My mother. Um, and yeah, to name a few, Alex Isley. She helps me a lot with vocal ranges, vocal training, because I didn't go for vocal training or wasn't in the choir because singing wasn't really my first option. But yeah, I just really wanted to write music. That's all I wanted to do, dance and model. So my mom really pushed me to music after she passed away in 2015. That's why I decided to pursue my career. But yeah, I expect good music from me this year. A lot of features, definitely, or maybe a new project. Might not be just my own, but I will definitely have a project with my producer, Black Iris, because I am under the arts entertainment record label, and we're going to drop like a collective, a project together, the two artists under the label. So I'm very excited for that. There's different sounds. I tap into a different vibe. It's gonna be very, very nice, very emotional, very raw. Yeah, people would not really talk about things like that or say it out loud, us as youngsters, but yeah, we're really going on in this one.